And he's actually leaving the Netherlands. Oh, I know. So I'm so happy he's here, and he's going to share a story with us for tonight. So please, can you give a warm welcome for Stephen?
Don't worry, I'll be here for a few more months, so I'll be around. Hello, everybody. Hi. I don't know how long you've been here in Amsterdam, maybe one night, maybe 1,001 nights, who knows? I'm sure you've gone sightseeing, seen many beautiful places that the city has to offer. But on your way through the streets, through the canals, maybe on your boat tour, I don't know if you've noticed something. It's often on the side, on the end of a bridge, on a little electric box post. It's these scribbles. No one knows when they come, but they appear. These graffiti markings that we find trying to be put away, but inevitably in our face. I'm not a particular fan of graffiti. I mean, I like when it's like nice art. You know, you have some trains where you're like, wow, like a good group of artists got together and like tagged that. You see some other trains where, okay, that was the lower class, I guess. Well, I'm just going about my life. I'm just doing my day-to-day business. And I've been here for some years now. And I don't know when it was exactly, but I started to notice this one tag. And I'm curious if you've seen it too. What's that? Opzicht? Oh, that's a good one. That'll be the next story. Yeah, it's one, it says again. Have you guys seen that? It's always either in black or very dark blue. And it would pop up, and it was like one of those unskippable ads. Like you never plan on seeing it, but you just always see it, and it's there. And it showed up so much. I remember I was somewhere near on the Zeedijk, and there was like an empty piece of wall, and someone had printed out a paper and written, "They're probably gonna write again here." And you know, it doesn't bother me like graffiti too much, but this one started to get on my nerves. I was like, what is this guy doing? Or this girl, whoever it is, like, why again? There's no context. It doesn't even look pretty. It's not a nice color. Why not yellow? Like, it just started to agitate me, and I would see it. I'm like, again, you know, again. You know, I'd be working in a meeting, and they'd be receiving of somebody say again, and I was like, okay. It just started coming out. I don't know. I didn't really try to understand it. I didn't try to figure out what might be the motive or intention of this artiste, but then it started to unwrap when I took a trip to Italy. See, I love climbing, and I do a lot of climbing here at Bouldering Halls. Any other climbers? Yeah, let's climb afterwards. And you know, we live in flatland here. Everybody's aware of that, right? There are no mountains, no climbing. And so going to Italy, it's like heaven. You know, you touch a rock and you're like, oh my gosh, this is how it's meant to be. And a few years ago, it was my first time lead climbing out on real rock. And the north of Italy, above Lago di Garda, is one of the most beautiful places in the world. There's a reason why the Winter Olympics are happening there. It's fantastic. But it was my first time climbing on rock. And so I was doing my first lead climb. And it's like a medium level, it's like a 5C or something like that. And so I'm going and I'm touching the rock, I'm like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this. And then I was about like maybe 4 meters up, which is how high the bouldering problems here in the city go. And once I got past that point, my body became aware that my mind wasn't aware of yet, and that it was how high I was. And I noticed my grip strength which is comparable usually to Alex Honnold, you know, it's just there. But it started to wane, it started to leave, and then I started to get the Elvis leg. You guys know what that is? And just all my strength started going, all my cool aura just started leaving, and it was just me there, not with arms, but with twigs and buttery twigs, and I was just slipping, and nothing worked, and I did my first fall, and I fell, and of course Tom, my friend Tom, he was belaying me, and boom, he caught me, and I was I screamed, okay, we're alive, okay. He was like, Steven, come on, keep going. And so I go, and this time I'm like 10 meters, and there's 4 more meters till I finish the route. And I'm really high now. And I don't want to fall, And I can feel my strength leaving me, and I start to slip, and I do the number one thing you're not supposed to do when you fall, when you're climbing. That's grab the rope. So I grab the rope, and what does it do? It runs through my hands like a hot knife in butter. And it just tears it open, and Tom's like, "You gotta finish it." I was like, "Yeah," and I just kind of kept climbing. I came down and I was bleeding, and it was horrible, and life was pretty miserable for the next 3 weeks of this. And I told myself, never again. But I ended up back in Italy a few summers later, and there I was with Tom and this very persuasive guy named Rainier. And they said, "Stephen, let's try climbing again." My eye kind of twitched. And they said, "Let's climb. It's going to be the most beautiful climb. It's going to be right by the lake. You're going to see everything." I said, okay, let's do it. They said, "But it's a little bit different. It's a multi-pitch climb." Now, I don't know if you know what a multi-pitch climb is, but with regular lead climbing, you have one person on belay, and another person climbs up, reaches the top, and then comes back down. With multi-pitch climbing, one person goes up, makes a new anchor in the wall, so they tie themselves, then they become the person on belay. That person then climbs up, goes up, new anchor in the wall, he climbs up, and so on and so on and so on. And so I said, "Well, how long is this climb?" Rainier says, "Oh, just a little 70, 80 meters. I was like, "What?" Said, "Yeah, just a 70, 80 meter climb. It'll take us maybe 2 hours." I don't know how, but they convinced me to do this. And so we went, and it was a beautiful day. Maybe it was like one of those days like my friend before he went into the casino. It was like that, and blue sky, and I could see the lake, and it was shimmering, and the mountain was running right into it. And I felt good. I just had an energy bar. I just had watched like a climbing documentary last night. And we go, and Rainier does the first pitch. So he climbs, he makes a new anchor. So now he's on belay. And he says, "Okay, Stephen, come up." So I come up. And this climb that we're doing, it's not a regular kind of your big holds climb. It's a slab climb, so it's an incline. And there's these small little divots which you put your toe in, and you find fingers, and you just slowly climb up. So I come up, and then it's my turn to do the first lead and the second lead. So I go up, I make an anchor. I was very scared, very, very scared. But I did it, then Rainier comes up, so on and so on. So we're going up at a good pace, about like 45 minutes in, maybe almost an hour. And then we come to the crux. The crux is the hardest part of any climb. And Rainier looks at me, he says, "Stephen, you got it." And he did one of those cheesy kind of like shoulder punches. Ow. Okay, I got it, yeah, I got it. And I looked down, and the beginning of the climb, it was funny. I like even took selfies when I was like 20 meters up and stuff, because it was so nice. Now I'm like 45, 50 meters up. I don't even want to touch my phone. Like, I can feel the Elvis leg coming back. Like, he's like, "Stephen, you got this." I was like, "Okay, I got this." So I go up. I slide. He says, "Come on, do it again." I try again. And I go up, maybe 3, 4 meters, and I slide again. I go up, and I slide. I go up, and I slide. My jacket starts ripping, and the shreds of my nice Patagonia jacket starts going. And Rainier's like, "Ha, it's like a cheese grater. Shut up." Mind you, our rope is only like, we have maybe like a 25 meter rope. So you can only do one pitch at a time. So there's no option to go back down. There's no way you can go back down. It's only up. And I'm the one that's supposed to take us up in this part, and I can't. I keep falling. And I cut my hand, same hand. I sprained my ankle, so I can't even do the Elvis leg anymore because it hurts too much. My strength is gone. And now on this part that's probably supposed to take us maybe 15, 20 minutes, I'm there. It's been like 30, 45 minutes easily. And I can't do it. And I can't do it. And Rainier says, come on, Steven, try it again. I'm like, shut up, Rainier. And I get so mad at him. You know, I usually like this guy. But in this moment, I'm just like, Rainier, I hate you. I hate that you convinced me to climb again. I hate Italy. I hate this lake. I hate this mountain. I hate that Amsterdam got me into climbing. I hate that I bought these shoes. I hate Alex Honnold. I hate every climbing documentary. I was so filled with hate that I reached in my pocket and I grabbed this big spray paint can and I started tagging the side of the mountain. I said, again. I said I wouldn't do it, but I did it again. And I did it again, and I make sure I get this rock, and I get this rock, and I get this rock, and I say to God, you might as well come and get me now, because I'm not making it up, and I can't go back down. And I keep spraying again and again and again. And then God sends a messenger. An angel comes. An angel says, I'll take you off this mountain. I said, please, thank you. Rainier's not offering me any help. He says, I know. Follow me. So I follow him. I said, where are we going? He says, to every moment that you regret. I was like, oh, you're not a nice Andrew. And he takes me to all the times that I've ever been late. To a meeting, to a family function, to church, to work. And those are a lot of times. It's most of my year. Mad. Because I said I wouldn't be late again, and I was late again. So I go to each moment, I get my spray. Again. The angel takes me to moments and times when I've been alone and maybe should have been doing something better, but I was just on my phone, doom scrolling, and afterwards you get out the phase, what was that? And you're like, I'm never doing that again. But then I saw myself doing it again, and I took my phone and I, together with the angel, spray painted on my phone and spray painted every Apple device I could find in Amsterdam, even those rip-off Apple stores, and I spray painted again and again. The angel took me to all the relationships that didn't work. All the times I told myself, I'm not going to go for that kind of girl again, you know that kind of girl. The emotionally unavailable one. They get me. I'm like, well, if I could just get her to smile. And this is what she does. I'm hooked. So I got all those ex-girlfriends, I lined them up, spray painted their face again, all 25 of them. 24. I saw there were many more hallways that we had to go visit. The angel said, look, why don't we go back? I said, back where? I said, to the mountain. No, don't take me there. Anywhere but there. I said, come on. Give me a spray paint. No. Give me a spray paint. No. He says, come on. So we go back. I had to go back. Because I was still there. And I hear this voice. The voice. Steven, God? I said, no, it's Rainier. I'm cold. Come on, man. I said, Rainier, I can't do it. I can't freaking do it. Close your eyes, Steven. Just listen to my voice. Can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah, all I need you to do is look up. Where's the next hold? I don't know, it's about like 1 meter. He says, okay, put your right foot up. Okay? Is it in a hold? Yeah? Okay, great. Now your left foot. Is it in? Yeah? Okay, now your right arm. Now your left foot. Now your right foot. Now your left foot. I slide again. For another hour. It's okay, Steven. Right foot. Left foot. Right arm. Left arm. After about an hour, 45 minutes on that one section, I finally make it to the hole. I clip in, make a new anchor. Rainier climbs up to the top. He belays me up. I go. We hug like we've never hugged before. I kissed the ground like I've never loved the ground this much. I said, Rainier, I'm so sorry. I made you wait that whole time. He said, sorry? What are you talking about? That was amazing. You tried again and again and again and again. And I said, oh, that's what you saw. Because I saw the other side. So now I'm back here in Amsterdam, biking around as you usually do with your Albert Heijn bag in your hand. And I saw it again. Again. Maybe he's trying to climb too. Maybe he knows right here. But I hope whoever that is, I don't know if there's any way this message will ever reach that person. But I hope he has someone cheering him on as well, saying, come on, you can do it again.